Apparently, if you eat loads of pineapple, it tastes like, oh, hello, and welcome to Not Another Leeds podcast with me, Danny. That's right, I did use the Christian name this week. I'm joined by my compadre, James, in this corner. How are we, James?
I'm great, and the under-18s have just scored, so yes.
That's always good for the
Excellent.
under-18s. Excellent. Well, first and foremost, welcome back to Joe. It's been a while, it's been a minute, and until this day, he still won't let me do my interpretive dance in front of him in a private concert. Why is that?
No, I'm good to be back, and I'm quite happy that there is no dancing going on quite yet anyway. It depends if the under-18 score another goal, then we might get to see it.
One day, I'll get you in behind that curtain at the Spearmint, right? Spearmint, Danny. Yeah, what am I doing? What is in the spot?
Spearmint wino.
Yeah, woo. Yeah. So, how was everything? Good Christmas, Joe? Yeah, all good.
Yeah, nice, mate. Nice. A bit of time to relax, a bit of time to enjoy Leeds, which was quite enjoyable over December. And now, yeah, back working, back with the content.
And scraping the barrel with me today, James. You know, you got to get back on that horse. Yeah. So, welcome back, mate. Welcome back. It's always a pleasure to have you back on this podcast. And here we are, the Gimli to my Legolas. If I wanted one person to fight next to me at Helm's Deep against the Uruk-hais, it's you. Welcome back, Jay. How are we?
That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. I'm not bad, mate. I'm not bad. Yeah, it's a long week when there's no game in it till Sunday, but
yeah, especially after that dross that we watched at the weekend. I can't call it dross because it was dross.
It was.
Yeah, but before we move on, we have got a sponsor naturally. Well, not only has Joe returned this week, but I've been approached by ITV, and it's LUFC Ireland. So if you want to get your name down, you need to contact us, and we'll get you on the island. And I think El Hadj Diouf will be there. Maybe Jack Harrison, depends if he comes back this month. But anyway, yeah, his mum will be there. Yeah. Anyway, let's get into it though. Harrogate last weekend, it wasn't very good. In fact, it was far from good. I thought it was quite boring and average. Did you go, Jay? I think Gilly.
I did not. I did not. Well, I was away that weekend. I decided to do something more entertaining.
Well, like watch paint dry.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
We'll get your thoughts.
Do that anyway.
Overall, then, Joe, what did you take away from that game?
I mean, to be honest, I'm kind of struggling to remember it already. It feels like I want to strike it from my brain, but I mean, I suppose we won. It was just a poor performance overall. The cup can be like that, though. I never take the cup too seriously.
No, but with the team that we put out, we should have absolutely annihilated them. I mean, fair play to Harrogate, Joe. The tight defensive unit and they stuck to the guns, but we should have been obliterating them, no?
Oh yeah, we should have been winning by 3 or 4 goals, but as you say, Harrogate actually played far better than I expected they would, sitting at the bottom end. They're in League 2, sitting at the bottom end of there. It just is what it is. With the attacking options we've got on the pitch, we should have just been pacing them down the wings, blitzing them at every given opportunity, but that's not the Leeds way, is it? It can't be that easy. We've seen it in the Cup so many times, losing against lower league teams, so I'm kind of just thankful that there wasn't a shock on the cards.
Yeah, we left that to Brentford, I believe. I think Brentford went out, didn't they? We'll get your thoughts then, Jay. What did you think, broadly speaking, about the game?
God, I don't have much good to say about it. It's more a case of you always know it's going to be one of these kind of games with lower league teams. They always raise their game and pull you down to a degree. But yeah, it should have been an opportunity to flex our muscles and show what we can do against a side like that. But nobody really took the initiative and did anything like that, and it was just quite frustrating to watch. It were a typical Leeds United FA Cup game, basically, and they're mostly awful. So why break with tradition, eh?
Exactly, yeah. Exactly. You know, it's hard to believe that I had long flowing hair before Leeds United games.
Well, you're only 20,
James,
aren't you?
mate, well, you won't believe it, would you? I'm 8 college. James, what were your thoughts on the game, buddy?
I thought it was the most riveting game I've ever seen. I was blown away by how amazing Harrogate were. It was a really tough game for us. Yeah, so we were lucky, really, because they should have really beaten our. I believe that before the game, their manager went to Fark, you can win, just chill out. We'll have a little nice, easy game. You can progress. We'll have a nice day out at Elland Road. Because that's what it seemed like, just like a little friendly match. There didn't seem to be any jeopardy in it. They were good, but we just did enough. We held the ball and we won. And we're in a place where we're not usually, so we'll take it and bring Millwall to us. But yeah, mate, really hard game against a really tough team like Real Madrid, and I think they've got a penalty, so someone's going to be start dancing in a minute.
Ooh, Joe, get them dance moves ready. Yeah, I mean, we'll have to talk about Gillavugi then. He didn't impress me much as Shania would say.
Dance.
Yeah. Joe, I mean, do you think are you putting that down to rust?
Yeah, I mean, he's not played much football, has he, really? Even since he came here, apparently he's had a big impact in the dressing room. But you just coming in to start in a cup game where, as you say, the overall performance was poor. So, yeah, I didn't expect him to stand out as such in his first game starting, and he didn't. I'm not going to dig him out too much for that. But I saw something around he might be leaving already, which surprised me.
I've seen something briefly that maybe he's already seen his next move or whatever. If that's the case, then fair play to him. He's got the motivation for it, but I won't be starting him anytime soon. Jay, what did you think to Gillavugi?
It were a bit worrying, to be fair. I expected a bit more from him. He's looked useful when he's come on at the back ends of games, but maybe that's because there's no real pressure or he's playing against tired players or something. I don't know. But he didn't look on it in the Harrogate game, and that were a bit worrying because you'd think he'd be kind of itching to get out there and play an actual full game. So I don't know. Maybe it's just he's still not fully up to speed. He was sort of sat at home for quite a while, wasn't he, before he joined us, and maybe he's just not quite there yet. I don't know. I like to think that that's probably the case because there's got to be a bit more quality in him than that.
Yeah, I'm putting it down to rust because I do like him. I'm giving him a bit of leeway. I do like there were several times where he went to just pull out an Ampadu worldie over the top and it just went straight to their defender, and then they played it out. But
it ended up more like a Melier pass.
Yeah, oh man, don't get me started on him. In fact, Joe, which is why Jay's brought Melier up. What's your thoughts on him, mate? Because we've not spoken in a long time, so I hope you bash him. You bash him.
It's annoying, right? Because I've always backed him up till that last mistake. I've always been like, oh well, keepers do it. But we do need to. I don't know if Darlow's the choice there. We need to get someone else in really at this point because it's just been happening season after season. So it's difficult. But then at the same time, I actually think Leeds have a keeper curse. If you think about all the last couple of keepers we've had, no one like Meslier, no one like Casilla, no one like Wiedwald. At the time, I don't think many people liked Silvestri. I think Rob Green was the last one that was kind of universally liked, and even he had a few mistakes in him at first. I remember, I think we played Newcastle at home once and he blundered it into net. Is it possible for Leeds to get a reliable goalkeeper?
I mean, look at the likes of Elia Capriel, who's now, is he at Napoli now? Is he Napoli?
Caligari maybe somewhere in Italy.
Yeah. And he's doing well. He's doing really, really well. Silvestri went on to do good at Hellas Verona. There are some that seem to just slip through the cracks for us, which is ironic, into the net. for a keeper.
And then
But
you
yeah,
get Larson, and he plays for 6 clubs in about 6 months because he can't keep his nose.
yeah,
clean.
he's actually signed. Claessen's actually signed for a. I don't know if it's a Danish or a Finnish team. It's got the word
I saw
Viking in it, so I'm assuming
Yeah, yeah.
it's Scandinavian way. Einar will probably know. But yeah, it's
Best
we
goalkeeper we've ever had. He
desperately
has 100% clean sheet record.
yeah.
Did Lucas
You're all good
Radebe
at that,
concede
but
when they were in goal? I can't remember.
I don't know actually.
Yeah, he
That's
went in
what
goal
we-
against Man United. And then in
Yeah,
the
did he
cup.
concede?
He did. We lost
I'm
1-0.
not
What
sure.
in the little.
I can't remember. Just remember him in goalie
He
shirt.
did.
That's all
He did.
I've got.
We lost
So
1-0.
we're on the subject of goalkeepers there. Caldalo, how do we all feel like he? I mean, I was shocked that he came and collected the ball while it was in the air. I didn't know keepers could do that, James.
He said, "No, I'm not
Come on,
interested."
It's against Harrogate, like I said.
Right, okay. Then. What about
It's
you,
against Harrogate.
Caldalo?
And like I said, if I'm I delayed again? I'm delayed again, ain't I?
A little.
Let's have a drink.
I thought he looked all right. He did what he needed to do, but in every appearance I've seen him in, obviously he looked good against Harrogate, but that is against Harrogate. Every other time we've seen him in the cup, I've not particularly liked the look of him. I don't think we have a particularly great keeper on our books right now. I did Fark say that he doesn't want to play Darlow because he's rubbish at playing it out from the back. I've seen that somewhere, I think. But then Meslier is no better.
Surely he
So
won't come out and say that. Surely
I
your
don't-
manager won't come out and say, "I'm not playing him because he's shit with his feet, even though he's in net."
yeah, maybe not. But I've seen that somewhere.
You're probably right, man. There's all sorts flying about on the intranet these days. Jay, I know it was like it is pinch of salt, but I thought Darlow played pretty well. I mean, on paper you could say these are better than that, but when it comes down to it, it takes one chance, and I thought it did well to collect. We were saying in the group chat, like, bloody hell, he's come out for the corner and he's caught it.
Yeah, I mean, he did everything that was asked of him. I don't think he was spectacular, but he was solid, and I'd take that right now after what I've been seeing in goal recently. I don't think he's got as much natural ability as Meslier, but something's not right with Meslier at the moment, and he needs taking out the firing line for me. If we end up not going up because of the amount of goals we've conceded, when we've got the lowest shots against us, or the lowest XG against us, it's unforgivable. It's unforgivable. And if they're not going to sign somebody, they've got to give Darlow a chance. And he's got a perfect opportunity after a game where he's kept a clean sheet. You can say, oh, yeah, it's Harrogate, but he did all right. You can leave him in, say you've earned a shot, and you can turn to Meslier and say, he did all right in that game, so I feel like he deserves to go in next game. And he might not like it, but it's a bit easier than turning around to him in the middle of, run the league games and saying, you dropped.
Yeah, I mean, Meslier, for me, a goalkeeping position is the hardest on the pitch because you've only got a split second to make a save, or it could be make or break for your team. That's just my opinion. But he's easily cost us a minimum of 4 to 10, you could argue, points this season.
Yeah,
Hull definitely give them impetus back to go 3-2, and I don't know what was going on with that third goal. And then I can't forgive the Sunderland one. I just can't. I do feel like he needs to be dropped, like say for his own. Like that's what Sam Allardyce did. He took him out the fine line and put Robles in there.
He did.
And
if he needs to take out a firing line every year, though, maybe he's not the guy.
Well, yeah, definitely, I agree. Joe, do you agree with that? Do you think it's time for him to get dropped?
Yeah, I agree. I say it dishearteningly, but I do agree that he's got to at least have a rest. And as you say, Darlow was good enough in the cup. It does give a good excuse to Fark to say now's the time to give him a proper go in the league.
Yeah. Paul Brennan says here, I would start Caldalo and put Meslier on the bench, but I think Daniel Farke will play Meslier. If Caldalo isn't playing, he's going to be rusty. FFS. What do you reckon, James? And Gilly makes a great point. Would be good to play keeper like make a save though.
What does he mean?
Because he's, I think it was on or no better.
Yeah,
that his save percentage is 66%. So that's every 10 shots he's letting 4 in. It's not good enough when we're trying to get promoted. Do you know what I mean? Sorry, James. Go on.
The delay is crazy.
Yeah, the hamster stopped running. Yeah. So where was I? Where was I going there? We'll talk about the Ramazani goal while James catches up. Then, Joe, the Ramazani goal, good header.
He's not very good. Not very good, is he, man?
He's gone.
Oh,
he's had enough.
I love the chaos on here, Danny. I love it.
It's always great.
You make us look professional, and I appreciate that.
We try to be professional. We try, but it's international waters over here. Anything could happen. Right, we'll talk about the Ramazani goal, Joe. Solomon once again, the shining star. I think he's getting up to his best. He could, on a bit of a segue question as well. Can you see him being in Premier League? Because he's said that he's open to staying if Leeds get promoted. So there's 2 questions for you there.
Yeah, I'll start with Ramazani. It was kind of scary seeing him score a header, to be honest. I never thought I'd see the day. He's only little, isn't he? But it's good that he's back on the score sheet, because I thought the last time, who did he start against in league? Was it Stoke away? And he just looked shocking. Or was it Derby maybe? I don't know. But the last game when he came back from after injury, he was truly atrocious. Gave the ball away every time. But he looks like he has a lot about him. So that goal should bring him some confidence, because he could be a real difference maker in back end of this season. And then Solomon, the last couple of games, he's been our best attacking player by a country mile. Really stepping up. At first, I was a bit unsure on him, but now he's just proving it week in, week out. On the ball, it's like it's glued to his foot half at time.
He's kind of picked up the slack, hasn't he, where Dan James has dropped off a little. Solomon's stepped in. Yeah,
it's really good to see, because you can see he's getting his confidence. And to be a professional footballer, you have to back yourself. And you've got to have that confidence, a bit of ego as well. Because I've seen when he's coming off and he's going, "Why are you taking me off?" Especially at Blackburn on New Year's Day, that really frustrated me. I have no idea why Farker took him off.
No, don't take me back there, mate.
That absolute horse that needs shooting Bamford. We'll talk about him in a bit. But yeah,
I'd like to know how much money that guy's collected while not being able to play.
Has he been fit for about half an hour this season?
Something like that.
It was that same game. He came on for like the last 10-15 minutes, and he's pulled his hamstring, and he's out for the rest of January. Honestly, the guy needs just taking to vets.
It is quite funny at this point. It causes me entertainment.
It's like an elderly man, isn't he, who tries to do a bit of DIY, and every time he does it, his back's gone then for next week. That's it. Hammered and
no, Grandad, I'll sort garden out.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's that uncle.
But at least the granddads get a bit of work done. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. He's that uncle at the wedding that thinks he can still break dance, with tie in his head, just to break dance, and he ends up just doing more damage than anything else. James, we're just talking about Solomon and Ramazani, that goal. While you were off there, we're just touching on Solomon getting back up to his best.
Yeah, I really like I want Solomon and Ramazani, to be fair, because I think before he got injured, he was really starting to make some waves. Old Ramazani, but yeah, Solomon's getting there as well. We've got a little abundance of wingers up there now. We're talking about the goalie, and he's costing us points. If we score more goals, then it won't really matter the odd goal that he lets in, like a monk. But mate, yeah, I'm really happy with Solomon and how he's coming on now. And get Ramazani, yeah. You've just laughed at the thing I said about 10 minutes ago, so it's really weird for me. It's
like your internet is like Bamford. It's all right coming on the pitch, but then once you're on the pitch, you're just like really slow.
This is why we're not going to get over 1,000 subscribers, Danny, because like that guy's internet is always shit.
Yeah. Well, we're never going
to do like an appeal. Get us to 1,000, and I'll get better internet.
Put like a TV ad out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
once you
we're
get
not-
some of that
Yeah,
ad
that's
revenue,
it.
it'll go straight to
That's what
James's
it is.
Wi-Fi
Get
bill.
there
Yeah.
and all.
Some
Good
posters
We're
around
not-
Peacock.
yeah, we're not going to get an invite to Golden Globes anytime soon, are we? Right, yeah. So we did come out with a 1-0 win. It was quite mundane and not overly exciting, but we're through to the next round and we face Millwall. Those hard Southerners that like to bounce around the stadiums and like wear flat caps for some reason. And the jellied eels. Anyone? No, not for me.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? It's weird, and it's in liquor,
Jellied eels.
but the liquor is eel juice.
Oh, nasty, horrible stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's-
They need to, we're in just south of Sheffield, where the M1 starts to go cobbled. They just need to just build a wall there.
It'd work.
Your subs have soared up this week. We've 5 sub this week. We've got.
That's not fair on me, though.
Nice.
Well, every honorary Leeds United fan outside of Yorkshire.
Gonna lose 4 tonight.
Yeah. Anyway, Joe, because you've not been on for so long, I wanted to get your opinions on the season so far. If you could tell us on your season so far, mate. Any standout players you want to see?
Yeah, I
No.
mean, obviously we're top of the league, so I can't really complain too much. I put a video out a while ago saying I really don't like how we're playing football.
Okay. On.
And that's kind of changed now. I feel like we've actually been a bit more exciting going forward in the past 5-6 games. In terms of players, I think the one big surprise for me this season, I thought he'd do okay, but it's Aronson. A lot of people still hate on him for, been a little bit weak and a few misplaced passes. But overall, he's been our most progressive player and everyone was willing to hate him at the start of this season. I remember being there against Portsmouth. He was getting booed from the get-go. And the fact that he has stuck around and he's had a real impact. I think he's got more goals than Rutter had at this point last season, which seems crazy to me. So I'm really liking how he's looking and hope he can keep improving throughout the season. But then really, I think bar Meslier, the defence has been incredible. Obviously, having Struik back for now, or we have this season, has been great. Rodon on a permanent's worked well. Bogle and Firpo going forward are great. It's just a good defensive unit. And then the 2 new centre mids have been great. I don't really have any complaints about the majority of the team, bar Meslier and Bamford, who only crawls on once every 6 months anyway.
He's not talking to you there, Joe. He's talking about us.
It's fine. I've had worse anyway, mate.
All right, I get it now because what you need to know, Joe, is Gilly absolutely hates Aronson. If he saw Aronson in the street, I think he'd set him on fire.
I really don't get it. He's definitely not our worst attacker.
I've got to be honest. I agree with Ellis to a degree. I don't like him. I'm not as upset by him as Gilly, but I still think that we need someone better. But in the last few games, he has looked a bit better. He has made contributions to stuff. It's just he's so wasteful. If he didn't blast it over the bar so often or make the wrong decision, he could be a good player for us. But his decision making is poor, and he loses the ball a lot. He's getting goals and assists at times, which is all that really counts. But you feel like we could be doing more with someone a bit more well-rounded in there, a bit more suited to the role.
I agree, and for me, I like Aronson to a certain degree. Yeah, he'll press and he can be a bit of he can harass other players. But for me, if he's playing that role, he needs to be better in that 10 position. He needs to double his goals and assists for me because that's what will get us up. I know it's a cliche, but Buendia role, if you will. That's what we need, in my opinion.
He's not an unlocking defences kind of guy, and that's what you need in that role.
But
especially
my thing is,
some of the defences we play.
Stats-wise, he's not far off Rutter last season overall, goals and assists, goal involvements, and he's our most progressive passer. So it's bearing in mind we're in the Championship and how much we got back for Rutter and how much we bought him for only 6 months before, it's what more could we ask for? We talk about Buendia, but what's he on, about 70k a week? So it's a tricky one. But I think Aronson, obviously I don't love him. I think his shooting is pretty awful at times. Is about as much power as Manan's mobility scooter. But
It's ironic for an American.
oh God.
Sorry.
2 howlers in 13 seconds there. But I don't mind him. I like him.
Yeah, I mean, like you say, he does a job, but not a good enough job. It's one of them. I personally, you just need to change it up if you want to get them goals and assists. James, are you with us in the present moment? What's your thoughts on Aronson?
Who knows? I'll give it a go. He'll do for now. I think, people are like, they're nitpicking. We're the best team in the league. Yes, we could be better at the back and maybe being a bit more prolific up front, but we're leading most of the stats. We're top by 1 point. Yes, he'll do for now, and I think we just need to give him a little bit of a fucking rest because you're just drilling him. I'm surprised he didn't play against Harrogate, to be honest with you. Just give him a rest, and he'll do. Premier League maybe not so much. He's not gonna be the man in there to do it, but now he'll be all right. He'll do.
Not giving players rests middle of the week. That actually would be. What nonsense. Just one more thing before we move on to the next thing. Thanks for your thoughts, Joe. I appreciate that. Just to trigger James again. Look at that. Look at it.
I know. Mate, if there'd been no goalkeeper in goal, they wouldn't have scored that goal. That's the craziest part of it all.
That is the craziest part. Right then, let's go on to guess the player. Let's have some fun. Right, so if you've not played Guess the Player before, just have a guess. That's all you do, basically. So this is this week's guess. I need bloody uploaded it. This podcast is absolute bane of my life. Talk amongst yourselves. La 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 la.
Just
Sorry,
hear
so
and watch you toil.
I can't talk to anybody because I'll just keep going into a different dimension. So I'll just
right. This is
try and add shit when I can.
Okay. Guess the player. This is. Oh,
You've
I'm
got
sorry,
this,
this-
Andy. Come on, we've got faith in you. Not much.
We need
but
like a technical difficulty screen that pops up.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
spreading.
Right,
That's what most
here
of
it
our
goes.
podcast
My
is
internet's
Yeah,
about,
spreading.
to be fair.
It's James's internet just sent me a virus. Right, so
Yeah.
this American player has been on before he became a player for Barcelona. He's been on Saturday Night Live.
I'm infected.
He's quite, and he's in a band called The Lonely Island as
he
well.
is.
For those people that do. So, who do you think this player is? I'll come to you first, Joe.
Is it WWE superstar John Cena?
Oh well, that's a good shout, but you might not see him.
Well, we can see him, so it's not him.
Oh,
No, do you know he ain't seen his head yet? He just might not have an head. You never know. What about you, Jay Cartier?
Oh God. God knows, mate. I'll go for an actual
think it's
proper
God.
guess this time. No, I don't. I'll go
Which
for
one?
That Rayner,
There's so
that
many.
Rayner kid, the American kid. I forgot his first name now.
Pepperine.
No, the American one.
Gio Reyna?
Is it Giovanni Rayner?
Maybe.
I think so.
James, who do you
I
think
just
it is,
started
mate?
doubting myself then when I was going to say it. So
Going back a few years. Who do you think it is, James? Give us a guess.
everyone remember to subscribe. For every subscription, a
I
quid goes
think
towards
it's-
James's internet.
yeah, it'll pay for it, isn't that? Yeah.
Gonna need more than a quid,
I will-
mate.
Yeah. This is who you saw. And
I
it is
think
in
it's
fact-
Sally Gunnell.
It is, in fact, Andy Samberg, aka Jake Peralta from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Fun fact that he was actually in a band called The Lonely Island. And
Wow.
with such songs as I've just jizzed in my pants. That's it. That is actually true. Jizzed in my pants and turtleneck sweater. Really good. Really
Jack
good.
Sparrow. Dick in a box.
Jack, yep. Dick in a box. Yeah, that's great. With featuring Justin Timberlake. If you don't believe me, honestly, great band. Right then, let's talk about some talking points from throughout the week. We'll talk about the big ones first. Strike is out. He's injured. We've seen this last season, Joe. Now we've got our starting centre back is out in the transfer window. For me, I would go out and get the lad from Nottingham Forest. I forget his name. I nearly said Odin Wingy then.
I'm thinking that as well.
The Irish guy. No, he went from Norwich to Forest. You don't know.
Is it like Odema Belly or something like that?
Yeah, that's it. Odema Belly or something. Personally, that's what I do. I pull the trigger on that because I've been interested. What's your thoughts, Joe? Do we replace him or hang it?
I actually don't think I'd get another centre back. I know Struick's out. It's 3 weeks at the minute. We're probably going to have other injuries throughout the season. But I think while we've got Voba as an option who can play there, and we've got Ampadu as an option who can play there, there's other positions that I'd rather strengthen and spend money on first when we've got that many options. Obviously, all it takes is one more injury and we might be in a sticky one. But unless they know that he's going to be out for a few months, then yeah, I'd definitely get a different player first.
Yeah, where would you reinforce in this squad if you had the money?
I'd go for probably for a striker. I like Joseph, but I don't think that Joseph is quite good enough to lead the line when we try to get promoted. And then I'm not really sure where else. I do think we need a backup in that Aronson position because, as you say, he's literally played every single game bar maybe 2 all season. So you need someone else who's a creative outlet in midfield, and he's the only option at the minute.
I don't know about replacing Aronson. I think it's the best player they've ever had. Don't know, man.
Not replacing a backup option.
This is Gilly. Whenever someone says anything about Aronson, he's shit.
Can't replace Aronson. Is it?
God.
I've seen you in the comments, Gilly. Don't. Well done for getting it right. It was like the easiest one ever. I'll get you a difficult one next time. Yeah. What about you, Jay? Are you nervous about this strike? Now we saw it last season and we didn't replace him or get any help. Sorry, we brought in Connor Roberts last January. That was it.
A little bit. I think with the fitness issues that Verba has, Firpo as well. So Verba's covering him as well as being a centre back cover technically. And now Strike's out. And if it is more than 3 weeks, we need to be looking at a centre back. We really do. But I don't know what we're going to do because we need like 4 players if we include a centre back. We need a keeper, we need a centre back, we need a 9, we need a 10. And it's all well and good saying, oh, we've got Ampadu who could step up there. But if there's an injury anywhere, as well as Strike, then we're really screwed because who goes in centre back then? Gilavogi.
Well, he can play there.
DeBeo. Technically, he can. He didn't play there very well against Harrogate. But
he'd probably end up in Byram and Schmidt starting one at fullback.
Yeah. But then you've got
which, by the way, should start. We've got to talk about Schmidt. His sort of debut, if you will. Go on. Sorry, Jay. Continue.
It's all right. But then you've got like Ampadu stepping back there and you lose him as a midfield option. Although I like him at centre back, so I don't mind that so much. But some people don't want to see him there. And then you move in sort of Gruev up the pecking order a bit again if Ampadu's playing at centre back. But he's only just come back and you don't want to be relying on him at any point then. So it has like knock-on effects throughout the team if we get another injury while Strike's out in those positions. So we need like 4 players for me. I'd be shocked if we got 1. I'm not expecting anything.
Yeah, as the window's gone along, it's like, oh, we'll get someone. No, we'll get someone. Oh,
even the rumours are slow.
Well, surely we're gonna get someone.
There's barely any rumours.
Yeah, like Not's getting out, but watch them unveil 4 players on Sunday or something like that.
Can you imagine?
I know, yeah.
That'd be amazing. James, it's never going to happen.
James, what's your thoughts, mate, about the strike situation? Are you happy just to put Ampadu in there, but that leaves us open for if he gets injured? You know what I mean? You've got the likes of DeBio that could probably step in, but he's got inexperience.
I think that we'll be fine. Ampadu can play there. We've got Gruev back. We've managed without Ampadu and Gruev for most of the season, and we're top of the league. I think we're covered there. Obviously, other injuries can happen. We could buy a new player at centre back, and then they get injured. I mean, we can talk about an injury coming along. It can happen anytime. So it is what it is. I think he's got a squad number, and I think he'll stick to that squad number. I think maybe Joffrey might be replaced. There might be someone coming in for that. If we lose any more players going out, not necessarily injured, but coming out, and if it's a long-term injury, maybe. But that's when I think we'll replace players. But as far as the centre back, we've got Wober as well. Yeah, he probably doesn't want to play there, or play here, should I say. He really wants to leave. We've got him, and we can use him while he's here. And he's a good player. He's a good player for this league, and he can play centre back quite easy. It's up the top. I think we need to maybe bring someone in. A number 10 to give Aronson a rest, or someone that can fucking just put these extra chances away that we create, because I think the odd mistake from Melier won't affect us if we just put all our chances away, because we create a lot.
Yeah, but the thing, it's this thing with Farker, isn't it, Joe, where everyone seems to think, oh, Farker's useless. He can't break down a low block. Do you agree?
Yeah, I do to a certain extent. But at the same time, in recent matches, this is what I was saying earlier, in the first half of the season, I thought that a lot more. Whereas in more recent performances, it is just what James said of we don't have anyone who can seem to put it away. That's why I said another striking option is what I'd be looking for, even if it's just a old, more tired Premier League option for the last 6 months of the season. It's a shame West Ham had so many injury issues, because I've always wanted to try and get Danny Ings on loan or someone like that who just didn't play in anymore. You can pay the wages for 6 months. Someone like that, I know he's on a lot of money and he's injury prone or whatever, but someone who doesn't have to run around a lot, but they'll put the chances in. That's all we need for 6 months.
Yeah, we need like this decade's Dwight Gale, don't we? That's what we need. Like, I remember when everybody were after Dwight Gale, and when we got linked, I was like, get in, and then we didn't get in at all, did we? Yeah, James just mentioned there that Gelderhart has gone out on loan to the Tigers, and then Charlie Crew has gone out to Doncaster. Surely we're not going to weaken. I said this last season. Surely we're not going to weaken ourselves, for the rest of the season. So surely we have to see at least one come in, Jay.
Well, yeah. I mean, these are players that have been on the bench in the matchday squads. So you can't just let them go and not have someone else come in, surely. Unless you've got some amazing youth prospects who you've not put on the bench yet that are about to appear. But I don't want to be relying on kids in a high-pressure running.
Luca Thomas is quite a good up-and-coming. I'm sure he's an attacker. But he's just gone out to Halifax Town, so he's obviously not ready for this type of thing. Gilly's right. We've got Pirro. I know that Gilly loves Pirro. He said so himself. You were there.
He does.
Yeah, but Bradford strike. We have been linked with Iheanacho, but it's just been rubbished by a Leeds reporter. He would have been decent. He would have been great. I think he would have done a job at this level. What Gilly says here, Harry Gray. Harry Gray
is he back from injury?
He is. He's training on the grass now. But do you think he's got now? We've seen the emergence of Archie. Do you think Harry Gray's got quite a ceiling, James?
Well, he's definitely just going to be compared to him, isn't he? That's inevitable. It's going to happen. He won't be looked at in his own right. He will be like, well, Archie did this for us, blah, blah, blah. I don't think he needs that pressure right now. I think he just needs to just do what he's doing. If he's good enough, then yeah, play him, obviously. But I think we've still got enough with what we've got, to be honest with you, without bringing Harry Gray in, to be honest.
Yeah, but we still need to see some at least give that positive attitude amongst fans as well, just to see that a player come in. We've lost two. Yeah, they weren't starters, but they were bench options at some point.
Fucking hell, I'm
squad
getting positive
members.
about these
They were-
fans. Jesus Christ. You're going to need to bring in Messi.
I know. You know as just as well as I do what Leeds
If we
fans
brought
are.
in Messi, people on Twitter would be going, "No, he's past it. He's too old."
yeah.
Completely forgetting how good Pablo was. Who, let's say,
Messi with a Y.
yeah, yeah.
Right, 100th game if he plays non-tour this Sunday, Joe. That's quite a feat. That 100 games. Just is it 21?
Somewhere
21?
around that mark, maybe 22 now.
Can you see non-tour going at all?
Not in January, maybe in the summer. But to be honest, most of this season, I don't think he's even been our best attacking option, even on the wings. So as sad as it would be if we had to sell him for a good fee to a Premier League team, I wouldn't be as upset as I maybe would have been at the start of the season when kind of everyone was leaving. Obviously, you don't want to see him leave. He's young, he's got talent. But it wouldn't upset me as much as a couple months ago.
Yeah. Right. Smite. I can hear you shouting. Stop it. Mateo Joseph is a different thing altogether. Like we're talking about Harry Gray, like the potential of Harry Gray. Like for me, Joseph, I don't want to say too much because I'll get absolute pelters for it. But for me, Perot starts over Joseph. They're like yin and yang. What you get with Joseph, you don't get with Perot. But what you get with Perot, you don't get with Joseph. For me, is a diamond with a scratch on it is Joseph. He just needs polishing. That's it.
But that's when I seen
Gilly's
Gilly's comment saying, like we've already got Perot when I mentioned Ings. It made me my point was we need someone to back up Perot because Joseph isn't quite at that level yet. That's all it is.
Yeah,
I have to just put in there. He'll be called Gilly forever now. You said that.
What is it? Gilly. Oh, Gilly.
Gilly now.
All right, Gilly, calm down. Right. I think that's about it for the old news. So we do play Sheffield Wednesday on Sunday. James, I'll come to you first, mate. Are you expecting any changes? Do you start Darlow? Do you just start Schmidt? I would love to see Schmidt start, if I'm being honest with you. Yeah. I'll come to you, Joe. You said the question, mate.
I know as soon as I start answering, James is going to answer as well. It's golden. I'm stuck on the Darlow Meslier problem. I would probably start Darlow, but I don't think Fark will. I think it'll still be Meslier, especially given what he said in the press conference the other week. So it will be Meslier. It is what it is. For the rest of the team, I'd leave it pretty much identical. Pretty much identical to the last league match. Have Perot up top if he's back fully fit, and then just hope we can see Solomon shine. I don't know who I'd play on the other wing though. Obviously, got a lot of options now. Would it be Nonto? Would it be Ramazani? I think I'd probably go for Ramazani. But apart from that, just hope that we can get a win. Big game really at Ellen Road.
Yeah, I mean, like you say, we've got an embarrassment of riches with this squad going so many places. It's I don't know who I'd start, to be honest, but who would you start, Jay? I'd drop Millier. I generally would.
Oh, I would, but I think, like Joe says, it's going to be Meslier in goal because Farker won't do it. I mean, look at the start of the season. Aronson wasn't really contributing much initially, and he was losing the ball a lot. And there were calls left, right, and centre to get him out of the team. He didn't. He kept him in there because he thinks he's the player who's best in that position.
We need to. Smarty commented something really positive about Aronson. I wanted that one to come up, but it was ages ago now.
No,
just so I could see Joe's reaction.
Aronson is the king, fourth most creative midfielder in the league, one of our top goal scorers. But if you're bullically or vertically challenged, you put me in that category there.
Well, he's trying to throw us all
not vertically. I'm not vertically challenged. I'm quite average. I'm 5'7". You can't process it. It doesn't look good on the eyes. Got a point though. Follically, yeah, you could agree. Sorry, where was I? It's tenders. Right, James, are you with us? No. We'll come back to James. Jay, what is your thoughts, mate? Carry on,
Yeah,
please.
so as I say, I would put Darlow in. I think everyone benefits from that. When you look at the reaction of the defenders with that howler against Hull, I don't even know that they trust him anymore at this point, and that's dangerous to have in your team. And when you look at how few shots on goal we actually concede,
doing what I do, mate. You crack on.
When you look at how many shots on goal we actually concede, they've got every right to be mad at him. They're doing their jobs. They're doing their bit. He's letting everybody down. And that, we saw that picture of him looking glum, didn't we, following that game? And
But look at these.
Yeah,
they can't believe it.
Yeah. Tanaka can't even speak the language and he's swearing at him.
He's nearly got his sword out there.
Little dagger.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, we saw that picture of him looking glum, and he is a human being. He will feel like shit about it, and there is a slight sort of thing in my mind about if he does end up sat on the bench, and I'm sure Farker will have thought of this. If he does end up sat on the bench, and the whole fucking crowd are cheering every time a catch is made by Darlow or anything like that, it's gonna crush him further. But you've got to be ruthless as a manager, and you've got to do what's gonna get the best results. So it's on his head. If he picks him and he does it again, it is on his head, because the shitstorm will be like not we've ever seen. People are really getting riled up at the moment about this whole thing.
Yeah, like if I'd heard that, when he were catching it and he cheers and that, as a manager, you think, right, that if he makes one more mistake, then he will get toxic and get on his back. So I mean, he needs dropping for me. Schmidt, Joe, do you think he had a good game? For me personally, I thought it should have been more progressive, like overlapping for me, but he still made some good passes and stuff, didn't he?
Schmidt, I thought against Harrogate he was the best player on the pitch for us, to be honest. Strange that we've not really seen much of him up to this point in the season, but I can see why. We've got experienced fullbacks there. But it's nice to know that he looks like he would be able to step in. Obviously, important to remember it was against Harrogate, so when you're playing someone decent in Championship, it's very different. But I like the look of him, yeah. Not to the point I'd start him. If Firpo's back fit, it's always Firpo at left back for me. Whenever he's played in Championship, he's been fantastic.
Yeah, I agree. James, can you hear me?
Yes.
No, Sam.
I can hear you.
What's your thoughts on?
There we go.
What's
Can
your
you hear
thoughts
me?
on
That's the main thing.
Yes, I can. Houston. What's your thoughts on Schmidt, mate? Do you agree with Joe or do you agree with Jay?
Don't know what he said, to be honest with you. I don't know what he said either. So what I think about Schmidt is
Make something up.
he was all right. He was standard against a team that really didn't offer any threat toward him. So he needs to be in a game where he's going to be a bit tested. So I still don't think I've seen what I want from him. Like, I think anybody could have stepped in against Harrogate and did what he did without being disrespectful to him. But he did all right, just in a more competitive game where there's a bit more, a bit more of a threat to him, then I can judge him a bit better. But I'm still not sure.
Yeah, I suppose you do have to take it with a pinch of salt. Right then, let's get some predictions. Joe, what's your prediction for the game? We're at home against the Owl Botherers.
I'm going to go 3-1, 2 Solomon goals, Pirro or Joseph, one of the strikers, and then that little goblin Barry Bannon to get one for Wednesday, just because it has to happen at Ellen Road, doesn't it?
Yeah, horrible get. Jade, do you know what the most common owl is in the UK?
I will be back.
No, it's a good guess. It's the T. The T owl. Yeah, that's right. We're here all week.
Did you start this podcast so people could hear your jokes because you tried to be a comedian and they won't have it?
Exactly that.
It was.
That's it, Jay. That's it. You've nailed it there, mate.
The judge said it was this or prison. The judge said it was this or prison. So here I am.
He doesn't even support Leeds.
Service.
You just got a book full of shit puns. It's like I need to get them in. I need
a platform.
I have actually got a book that thick of dad jokes. Right then.
Told you.
Here's a prediction then, Jay.
I'm going to go for a 3-1 Leeds with a Melier howler thrown in, since he will start.
Yeah. What about you, James? And here's one. I will go 3-1. I think I said 3-1 to Gilly. But I'm going to. You said 4-1, no?
Us two have both said 3-1. So we might all be in unison
like
here.
I say, this is not a. No, I ain't said 3-1. It's not all. It's not what I think the game's going to be. It's what I think the game should be. So 4-1, I've said, because I do think Melier will. I don't know, might cock it in his own now or something, just for the crack.
I just who was it that went to throw the ball out as a keeper and he threw it behind him? Can't remember. Got his name. I remember seeing it on the thingies.
No man.
Golden Howlers. Anyway, moving on. We have got a segment.
He definitely put a bet on that goalkeeper.
Yeah. Hang in there, Joe. We're nearly done. Right. So this this next segment is called First Impressions. That's the name. First Impressions. That's the bloody game. I will come up with it. Right. So here we are. The aim of the game is exactly what it says on the tin. It is First Impressions. Now, we'll start with you, Jay, because we call you the mimic behind your back because you're so good at them. So what you are,
Master.
you're Arnold Schwarzenegger having a go at Furpo for leaving his boots around in the changing room whilst eating a donut. And actually, he will help you.
Junior, put the donut down. Where are your boots? Get out on the pitch. It's unacceptable. I'll be back.
Nice. That is quality. The mimic, everyone. I hope you're applauding at home.
There is no bathroom.
Go Hagen. Give these people air now. Get down now. Sorry, got carried away there. Joe, how's your Welsh accent?
Not very good. Why am I Ethan Ampadu?
No, you are Dan James, and you are
Brilliant.
Go Melier for dropping his lasagna.
I don't even really know what Welsh people sound like specifically.
He's English, so don't worry about the Welsh. He's English. Dan
don't
James
know how
is
to
English.
do
He's
this.
got a wonky nose.
Can you do Geordie? Can you do any accent? I'll let you off and give.
How is you? Why'd you drop the ball
really
again?
Fast. I'm so fast.
That was more Scottish, but that'll do.
That'll do. I did put you on the spot there, Joe, but we'll give you there. That'll make the highlight reel. Especially Jay's Arnold Schwarzenegger impression.
Yeah, Jay's was actually quality, to be fair.
You should hear his Jamaican when he got cancelled.
Oh, God. We don't talk about that.
No, we don't talk about no. Right, that was First Impressions. That's the name. First Impressions. That's the bloody game. Right, we're nearly there. We're on the home stretch, Joe. So, what's coming up next is this, and it is this week.
Top Knob.
Yes, in ancient Rome, they used to call it Topus Nobis. Julius Caesar was. Do you know what Julius Caesar said just before he got stabbed? Oh shit! That's what he said. Right. So, what the aim of Top Knob is anyone's wound you up, pissed you off, could be anything or anyone, or even an inanimate object. So, I will start with James first. I'll ask him now. So, in 10 minutes' time, he can tell us what's wound him up. What's your Top Knob this week, James? Apart from your laptop.
My internet, obviously. Twat.
No. So there's the internet. Who was it? Vodafone? I think it's Vodafone. Joe, who has annoyed you this week, my friend?
I'm going to go with Vinicius Jr. just because I always see him acting like a child on the football pitch, and it's making me more and more happy he didn't win the Ballon d'Or. Can I give a second shout out to Ellis because he was meant to be doing this with me and couldn't. So he'll probably watch this and he'll just hear me calling him a knob. So that's good.
That's good. Ellis, you've been warned. You owe me one. Look, Jilly's in the comments. He's from Beverley. He is from Beverley, but he plays.
We did get Arnie out of it though. To be fair.
That's true. That's true.
That's true. Jay, who's wound you up, mate? Who's your top?
Can I give it to a team?
You can give it to anything or anyone you like, my friend.
I'm giving it to Southampton for screwing it
Yes.
up after they took the lead against Scum, and they were all over them, and they failed to make it count.
Can you believe
That's
that they did us 3 times last season?
It's
times.
unbelievable, mate. It's unbelievable.
I can't believe it. It's
I
absolutely
don't
mad.
care about that. I want them to just have the worst points ratio ever. Come down.
100%.
That's what I want.
Is anyone beat? Is it still Derby, the worst Premier League team?
I think so.
Still Derby?
Yeah, it is, I think.
Let me check.
So no, I know Huddersfield came really close, didn't they? But
Yes.
they got that.
Oh, they did, yeah.
They got the,
We did try and
Manchester
beat them,
United.
didn't we? But
yeah. Well, best we did was a draw, wasn't it?
Jesus. So yeah, it's still Derby.
Stadium.
11
Was it
points.
16? 11 point. Wow, was it?
11.
I'm going to go
Yeah.
with. I'm going to agree with Gilly in the earlier on. The 49ers. I think they need to fucking back us in January to think and really wind him up. And I'm an avid 49ers fan of in the boardroom anyway. And I think they need to, if they're keeping the cards close to the chest, they need to start revealing them because we can't go through this again. And if we don't go up this year, then I'll be playing for Leeds next season probably. So
Gilly would have given it to Aronson every week.
Gilly's got a voodoo doll in his house full of pins. I think that's why Arison's so small because he runs a lot. It's eroded his knees. He can't lift his knees as he's gone faster. Right. I'm going to give it to all of them because I can. So that is the 49ers. James's internet is probably top of the pile. And what you other guys said, because I forgot. That is this week's Ellis. Southampton and Ellis. And Vinny Jr., who is quite a novel actually. That is this week's
Top Knob.
Yes, that is the end of this week's podcast. Thank you very much for tuning in or using as background noise for your dog while you go out. It doesn't matter. Thank you very much. So yeah, I want to speak to Joe first. What's going on with your channel, mate? Where can people find you? And thanks for coming on.
Yeah, so it's Derby Days on YouTube. Talk about football, Premier League, Championship, loads. Kind of making a comeback. Didn't post for over a month. So yeah, go check it out and make sure you subscribe to these boys as well because it's always fun coming on.
Oh, thanks very much, mate. I appreciate that. Also, everyone go over there and have a look at Derby Days. It is great. We are trying to do a collab at some point, but lives are just mental, aren't they, Joe?
That they are.
That they are. Jay Cartier, what's the latest on the Autumn No Better podcast?
Well, we'll have B&C after the Wednesday game. I don't know if it'll be late on Sunday or if it'll be Monday because I don't know which two of us are on it yet. So I have to look at the rotor. But yeah, we'll have a B&C post game for Sheffield Wednesday, and we'll be back with the main pod Tuesday as per.
Yeah, sound. It's always fun to watch OKB and give you some crap in the comments as well.
We love it, mate. We love getting slagged off and abused. It keeps us all motivated, you know. Gilly's had some pelters this week, actually, in comments, to be fair to him.
Who?
About his absence and stuff. Gilly, I mean.
Oh, Gilly, why didn't you say? I've actually got a picture of, when I saw you in the Peacock.
Gilly.
Yeah.
I was speaking to Smart. Right, yeah, thanks very much.
Is that when we're
Gilly,
like
that
talk to that guy?
Yeah. I know he's Smart watching that. This is his face.
Actually looks like him.
Right, yeah. So if you are watching, please do like and subscribe. It does help us. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. It would help us. If we get to 1,000 subscribers, I will personally pay for James's internet. I will add it to my package, and there we could probably do some live stuff. Yeah, James, you all good, mate? Yeah. Right then. So thanks. Yeah.
I don't know. Who knows?
Very much.
Who fucking knows?
Joe, thanks again. Jay, thanks very much. Super sub. And let's
Anytime, mate.
out of here.